How's it going, everyone? Today we've got a detailed look at an awesome set I just put together. Today we're going to be looking at the LEGO Milky Way Galaxy set. That's an 18 plus set, 31212 with 3091 pieces. And you can actually build it with 1 to 5 builders. And I actually picked this one up on sale during Insider's Days for $160 instead of $200 full price. So I am very happy that I got it at a discount. This set is super cool. It's got over 3,000 pieces, like I said, and as you can see, it's over 2 feet wide and over a foot tall. So we're gonna have to find a nice space on our wall for this, and that thing is gonna look gorgeous. So without further ado, let's get right into the set because I just finished building it and I think it's phenomenal. All right, here's our first look at the Milky Way Galaxy set, and this thing is huge. It is honestly a lot to take in, so sometimes it's nice to take a step back and look at it because then you can see the image more clearly. But the closer you get to it, you can really point out all those different unique details and elements they used in there. There's a bunch of white pieces that you would traditionally see in plants, flowers. There's even like a little alien face hiding down there. There's brushes, there's skate helmets. So let's get right into it and show off all those cool little details. I think my favorite of all the different details is this "You Are Here" thing showing where we are in the Milky Way Galaxy with this glow-in-the-dark piece. So it's actually got that printed 1x4 tile aiming towards it, and I think that was a super cool inclusion. We've also got this little satellite over here, and you can see all around there's just tons of these transparent purple pieces. Even some of these dishes have little like sparkles in there. There were just tons of unique colors to make up this composition, and I love the way the final product looks. So for the build process, you make 15 little squares before putting it onto the frame. You actually start with the top left here and go 3 down, and then you work your way across with all 5 rows. So I did stretch this out over a couple days, and that's 1 because it is a little bit repetitive, and 2 because my fingers were hurting a little bit. Sometimes the elements like that, or just the studs in general, just pressing them on repeatedly was starting to make my thumbs feel like they were a bit raw, so I did have to take a lot of breaks. But I did enjoy it because it gave me something to do each day of the week. I would come home from work and just do a couple panels at a time. And I also really enjoy how it creates this 2D image, but then if you look at it from the side, you could see how three-dimensional it is and how much it does come out off the frame. You can see these pieces stick out quite a bit, and I think this thing is going to look wonderful on our wall. And here's a look at the construction of the back of the frame. You can see they used a lot of these green and red pins to really strengthen those squares by sticking them together, and then along the outside you even put in these little Technic pins all along the top, so you were pinning them together from the back and locking them into the frame, so they are not going to go anywhere. And then a couple more things to note on the back. We've got 2 hangers, one on the left, one on the right, and then I think it's cool they've got these like inverted tiles almost. Let me pop it off to show what it looks like. One of these like little plates that's got a tile on the back, and I think that's just to rest. Oh, look at all that damage we caused by that mishap there. I totally should have had something propped up behind it. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? And that is really not good. That thing just fell face first, and there are some pieces down there that I think are going to be pretty hard to find where they go, so wish me luck. But the thing I was trying to emphasize with this part on the back is that these white parts are meant to sort of support against the wall. Since you're hanging it right here, I think that's a nice little touch they added. But now that it's laid down, let's look at some of my coolest elements that I've found on here. This is probably the safest thing that I should have been doing all along, but we can do it now. And so there's the purple carrot right here. That was super cool. I've never seen them in purple before. Then we've got like this little flag piece right here. We've got little diamonds, pink and purple leaves, some pink flowers, some baby blue pieces, and just tons of other stuff. Like we've got this little binocular piece right here. Over here we've got like a little jagged tooth piece, all kinds of different stuff. Like we've got a whisk right here that you would use for baking. There's even little forks, like yeah, there's one right here, this white fork. So there's just all kinds of stuff hidden in, and it's kind of like the more you look, the more you'll find. This is like a little cupcake piece almost. So just tons of cool stuff everywhere, and there's that little alien like I pointed out before. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find a spot on our wall for this. I think this is a great set that I got for a great price. It's actually the second one I've bought because I bought one for my sister, so I was so happy that I was able to find this one on sale. So now I have one as well, and that leaves us with our last question. We are going to have to find a nice spot on the wall for it. So I'm thinking we have this big gap over here. I'm not sure because we're eyeing up that Batman art as well, since that Batwing is up there, and I think that would look good over there. But the only spot other than that is this area over here, which that would be cool and all. It's kind of near the Tales of the Space Age, but the huge problem is if you're not standing in that side of the room, that's going to be covered up massively by the Avengers Tower and the Bugle. Like if I was standing from this point of view and it was on the wall there, totally covered. Like if you're standing here, it's a little better, but the Bugle's still all up in the way. So I'm really not sure. Maybe we'll change up the entire wall. I don't know yet. So yeah, make sure to let me know what you think of this awesome set down in the comments, and I'll be back with more set reviews coming very soon, so make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned.